And so we're going to start today in supported fish pose. So you'll have your blocks down like this. This one's going to be on the lowest setting. This one will be on the second highest or the highest setting. Or if you have a bolster or a blanket, you can roll it up and just have that down your spine. The block that's on the lowest setting is going to go right at the base of your shoulder blades in the mid back. And then your head is going to be on the other block here. Then your arms are just going to be at your side. And just let the eyes soften and maybe shut here and make any micro adjustments here that you need to in order to be comfortable. And start to tune into the breath as you lengthen out your inhales and your exhales. Nice deep inhales in to really fill up the chest and belly. And exhales out, really letting the belly and chest fall down towards your block or bolster underneath you. Just let go of any distractions from the day here. Anything that you need to do later. Just let the breath help to ground you into this here and now here. On the next breath in, notice the count of your breath in. And as you breathe out, notice the count of your breath out. And then as you continue to breathe here, start to get some harmony with the lengths of the inhales and the exhales. Some equal lengths on the breaths in as the breaths out. Now on your next breath in, take a slight pause at the top of your inhale. Taking your full breath out. And a pause at the bottom of your exhale. Finding our rectangular shape with our breath here. And just continue to follow that rectangular shape for your few more breath rounds on your own. Settling into this space and this practice. Do one last deep inhale in through the nose. And through the mouth this time, let it all go. And flutter your eyes back open. Bend one knee in at a time and roll off to one side, removing the blocks as you go. Oh, hi, kitty. And then make your way back to your back with your knees bent and the soles of the feet on the ground. Take your elbows right next to your sides here. Bend your elbows at a 90-degree angle so that your fingertips are facing up towards the sky, palms together. We're going to take our entire inhale to roll up our spine, coming into bridge pose. So as you inhale, lift the tailbone up, roll up the spine, trying to go one vertebrae at a time here until you come up to your shoulders and really press the seat up towards the sky. And then exhale, roll down the spine, trying to go one vertebrae at a time with the tailbone landing last. Inhale, coming up, lifting the tailbone up, peeling the low back away, the mid back, the upper back, and then really press the hips up towards the sky. And then slowly roll down the spine on one vertebrae at a time with the tailbone landing last. Let's pull both knees into our chest here, giving yourself a nice big hug. And then place your hands around the backs of the thighs and start to roll up and down your spine until you make your way to a seat with your legs out long in front of you. Walk your hands back. Maybe like three handprints behind your seat. Legs are going to be out long, and we're going to come to a reverse plank here. So you're going to inhale and lift your seat up. Point your toes down, bring the gaze up overhead. And then exhale, bring the seat down, draw the toes back towards the shins. Inhale, we're gonna come back up one more time, lifting the seat up, toes point down towards the bottom of the mat. And then exhale it back down. And we'll do that one more time here. Inhaling to lift up, and we'll hold, pointing the toes down towards the bottom of the mat. Maybe your gaze goes overhead this time and really lift the seat up towards the sky. One more deep inhale here. And as you exhale, let's go ahead and bring the seat back down and come up with your torso up. Keep the toes drawing back towards your shins here. Bring your fingertips down to the mat or floor next to your hips. Take an inhale to lengthen through the spine. And then exhale here. One more deep inhale in Dandasana here. And exhale out. On the next inhale, we're going to sweep our arms up overhead. And then exhale, we're going to hinge and fold over our legs, letting the hands fall wherever they land. Could be on the feet, shins, ankles, wherever it is. But wherever you are, just make sure to let the head hang nice and heavy. Getting a stretch through that back of the neck, upper back area. Nice deep inhale in. And exhale, maybe you bring your head a little bit closer to the knees. Go ahead and rise back up on the next inhale. And then we're going to bring our right foot to the outside edge of the mat. Left foot bends, or left knee bends. Left foot comes to the inside of the right thigh. Bring our fingertips down to the mat again here. Square your shoulders up over that right leg. Inhale, bringing the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge and fold over your left or right leg. Doing great so far. Rights and lefts and lefts and rights. We're just kind of warming up here. So if you have any little micro movements that you want to do, maybe kind of little mini twist back and forth, you're more than welcome to do that. But again, just make sure your head's hanging nice and heavy down towards your right knee. Just go ahead and leave our right hand where it is. Open up to the left as you bring your left arm up overhead. And then bend your left elbow and start to hinge sideways over your right leg. Maybe bringing your left arm long and reaching towards those left or right toes. Whatever you're doing here, just make sure that your left shoulder is rolling up towards the sky and drawing that left knee down towards the mat, your bent knee. One last deep inhale in here. As you exhale, we're gonna go ahead and bring our torso back up. Switching sides, left leg goes long to the outside edge of the mat. Bend your right knee. Right sole of the foot to the inside of the left thigh, fingertips down to the mat next to your hips. Square your shoulders up over the left leg, drawing those left toes back towards your shin. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, we're gonna hinge and fold over the left leg. Letting that head hang nice and heavy to the left knee. Keep with your deep breath rounds through the nose if you can. And maybe even continue with your rectangular shape if that's available to you. The left hand where it's at, sweeping the right arm up overhead as you open your chest up to the right. Bend the right elbow, bring the hand to the back of the head or the top of the back. Or maybe you reach towards your left foot with the right arm long overhead. Just make sure your right shoulder and chest is opening up to the right here. And then notice that right knee and actively try to draw it down towards the mat as you reach towards that left foot. One last deep inhale here. And as you exhale, let's go ahead and rise. And then we're gonna sweep our feet around and make our way to a tabletop all fours position. Spread the fingertips out nice and wide, full palm on the mat. I'm gonna start just by doing a few little circles here to warm up the wrists. And then we'll switch directions. Keeping with those nice deep inhales and exhales. And then make your way back to a neutral spine. We move through some cat-cows here. So starting at our tailbone, we're gonna lift our tailbone up towards the sky, dropping the belly, broadening through the chest, lifting the chin. Keep the chin lifted and start at the tailbone, tucking the tailbone, rounding the spine, and finally tucking the chin in. Again, starting at the tailbone, lift the tailbone up, arch the back, broaden through the chest, lift that chin up, keep the chin up and start to tuck the tailbone, the low back, mid back, and upper back, tucking the chin last. One more like that, just kind of on your own breath round here. And once you've done another one, make your way back to a neutral spine. Walking your hands back towards your knees as you bring your feet over your heels. And then you're gonna walk your hands behind your heels. Flipping your hands around so that your fingertips are facing behind you. And then take an inhale, and you're gonna lift your seat up towards the sky, letting the head hang heavy. Maybe the gaze goes up over your head. And then exhale, bring the seat back down. Inhale, we're gonna lift the seat up one more time. And exhale it back down. One more time to lift up, and we'll hold for a breath round. So take an inhale in to lift the seat up, press those hips up as high as you can as you exhale. Inhaling in. And then exhale, bring the seat back down, walk your hands back in front of the knees, making your way back to a tabletop pose. And on your inhale, you're gonna lift your right arm up and left leg back behind you, keeping the belly nice and toned. Exhale it down. Left arm goes up, right leg goes back. And then exhale down. Right arm goes up, left leg goes back. And exhale down. Left arm up, right leg back. And down on the exhale. And this time we'll lift it up and we'll hold. And a nice deep inhale in. And as you exhale, bend your left knee, sweep your right arm around, grab the top of your left foot with your right hand, and then start to kick into your right hand with your left foot, coming into our half bow position here. Lifting up the left knee as high as you can. Really lift, lift, lift. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Release, bring the hand back down, the knee back down. Left arm goes up, right leg goes back. Hold for a breath round. Nice deep inhale in. And as you exhale, bend the right knee, sweeping the left arm behind you, grabbing the top of the right foot with the left hand. Then start to kick into your left hand, lifting the back knee up as high as you can. Holding it here for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and bring the hand back down. Walk your hands forward a little bit here. Actually, walk them forward as far as you can until the forehead comes down to the mat, coming into puppy pose. Nice deep inhale in and exhale out. One more breath round. And then as you exhale, go ahead and bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. We're going to inhale in through cow. And as you exhale, tuck the toes, come to a plank pose. Nice strong plank here. Really toning the belly, lifting the backs of the knees up towards the sky, driving the feet down towards the bottom of the mat, the heels down. One more deep inhale. And then keeping the elbows as close into your ribs as you can, lower all the way down to the mat, taking your entire exhale to lower down. Untuck the toes, bring the hands by your hips, palms facing down. And on our inhale, we're gonna lift our head and our torso up. And then we're gonna exhale it back down. Inhale, we're gonna add the arms in, lifting the head, torso, arms up, lifting the backs of the hands up as high as you can. And exhale down. Adding the legs in, we're gonna lift everything up, really draw the shoulder blades together, lifting the backs of the hands up. We're gonna hold for a couple breath rounds here. Nice work, everyone. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands underneath the forehead, stacking one on top of the other. Sorry, Kitty, I gotta move you out of the way. And then just roll back and forth on your hands with your forehead here. Now we're going to bring our left forearm parallel to the top of the mat. Turn open to the right as you bend your right knee in towards and the heel towards the glute. Grab the top of the right foot with your right hand and start pulling it into the glute. And maybe you pull it down in towards the floor if that's available to you here. One more deep inhale in here. And as you exhale, go ahead and release the right foot, switch your hands up. Right arm goes parallel to the top of the mat. Bend the left knee in, grab the top of the left foot with the left hand, and start to pull it in deep towards the glute. And if you find that your heel comes to the glute, then you can start to pull the foot down towards the mat next to the left hip. You can keep the forearm where you want, or there if you want, or you can bring the forehead down to the mat. Whichever you prefer here. Let's do one last deep inhale. And then go ahead and release on your exhale. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. Press up to a tabletop position here. Inhale, we're gonna drop the belly, lift up through cow. And as you exhale, we'll tuck the toes, lift the knees, come to a plank pose. Inhale, you're gonna shift your weight forward. Exhale, come back to your plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. And then exhale, press back into a downward facing dog. First down dog of the day. So if you want to pedal your feet out or take any little movements here, you're more than welcome to. And then on your next inhale, we're going to bend the knees, look to the front of the mat. And as you exhale, walk your feet to meet your hands in a forward fold position. Half lift is coming on the inhale, nice long spine, shoulder blades together. Exhale, hinge and fold. Keep the left hand down, bend deep into the left leg as you open up to the right, bringing the right arm up overhead. And hold here. Nice deep inhale in. And then exhale, bring the right hand down, bend deep into the left or right knee. Open it up to the left. Trying to stack the shoulders over each other here. Nice deep inhale in here. And then exhale, come back to your full belly to thighs. Sweep the arms up overhead, coming up to your tippy toes. And then exhale, we're coming right to a chair pose. Seat comes down and back behind you. Gaze is just over the top of the mat, so your back of your neck is nice and long. One more inhale in. And then exhale, rise up. Tadasana, arms by your side. We're gonna move through a sun A now, so let's bring the arms up overhead, come up to your tippy toes if you want. Exhale, hinge and fold. Halfway lift is coming on the inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step or float back to plank, and move through a vinyasa on your breath rounds. Or you can always meet me in the down dog land. On the next inhale, you're gonna bend your knees, look to the front of the mat. Exhale, step or float to meet your hands in a forward fold. Half lift is on your next inhale. Nice long spine, shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold belly to thighs. Sweep the arms up overhead, coming all the way up to your tippy toes. And then exhale to Tadasana, arms by your side. Sun B is coming next here. Inhale the arms up overhead, tippy toes. Exhale, chair pose. Seat comes down and back behind you. Arms stay up overhead. Drive your tailbone down towards the back of the mat here. Ground through the outside edges of your feet, maybe even curling the toes in a little bit. One last deep inhale here. And then exhale, hinge and fold, belly to thighs. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step or float back to plank. And you're gonna move through a vinyasa on your breath rounds. But you can always skip it and come right to down dog, totally up to you. On your next inhale, right foot goes up and back behind you. Really reach that foot up as high as you can. Exhale through, low lunge. Back foot goes at an angle. Rise up to warrior one on your inhale. Exhale, settle into your hips. Making sure that knee is bent over your front ankle. Shoulders square to the front of the room. Drive through the outside edge of your back foot. Nice work. One last deep inhale here. And as you exhale, we're going to frame our front foot. Step back to plank, moving through that vinyasa, or down dog. We'll all meet in downward facing dog though. Left foot goes up and back behind you on the next inhale. Exhale it through, low lunge. Back foot goes at an angle. Rise up to warrior one. Settling the hips on your exhale. Press through that outside edge of the back foot, squaring your shoulders up to the front of the room. Notice your shoulders here. Notice they're up by your ears and draw the shoulder blades down the back. A nice deep inhale. As you exhale, maybe you settle down into your hips an inch more. Nice work, everyone. One last deep inhale. Exhale, we're gonna hinge and fold, framing your front foot. Stepping back to plank, moving through your vinyasa, or you can always meet me in down dog. In our down dog here, let's just take a moment to check in. Spread the fingertips nice and wide and press through the base of the index finger. And really push your seat up and back behind you. Maybe bringing the forehead down to the mat a little bit more. And then drive the heels down towards the mat. You don't have to touch, but just drive them down towards the mat. On the next inhale, bend your knees, look to the front of the mat. And as you exhale, step or float to meet your hands in a forward fold. Half lift is on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we're coming up to chair pose. Seat goes down and back behind you, arms overhead. Driving the tailbone down towards the back of the mat. Head is nice and, or spine is nice and long here, so your gaze is just over the top of the mat. One last inhale. Exhale, come to standing. Arms by your side. We're gonna sweep both arms up overhead, and then grab your right wrist with your left hand and hinge off to the left, sending the hips out to the right. Nice deep inhale here. And exhale, maybe your hips go a little further out. Come back up to center on the next inhale. Grabbing the left wrist with the right hand, and as you exhale, hinge off to the right. Sending the hips out left. Nice deep inhale in. Exhale, maybe the hips go out a little further. Back up to center on your inhale. And then exhale to Tadasana. Arms by your side. Couple breath rounds here to settle. I'll grab a sip of water. All right, moving into our flows now. So inhale, we're gonna sweep the arms up overhead, come into your tippy toes. Exhale, hinge, fold, belly to thighs. Half lift on the inhale, nice long spine. Plant the hands, step or float back to plank on your exhale. Moving through your vinyasa, or you can always meet me in down dog. On the next inhale, right foot goes up and back behind you. Exhale, you're gonna stack the hips, bending the knees, scorpion your dog. Take an inhale in here, and an exhale out. Back up to three-legged dog on your inhale. Exhale it through, low lunge. Back foot goes at an angle. Rise up to warrior one on your inhale. Exhale, settle your hips. Take a nice deep inhale here to get your warrior one set. And exhale out. Inhaling in, and exhale, hinge and fly your arms next to you. Inhale up, and then exhale, cactus your arms and back bend. Inhale the arms up, hinge and fly. Inhale the arms back up, cactus and back bend, shoulder blades together. Inhale your arms up, exhale, hinge and fly and hold. And rise back up to warrior one, opening up to warrior two on your exhale. Nice deep inhale in here. Nice deep breath rounds in. And exhale out. On the next inhale, you're gonna reach your arms up overhead, turning your toes to the left side of the mat. Pyramid pose. Then exhale, you're gonna turn your toes to the back of the mat, coming to warrior two at the back of the mat. Take an inhale in here, and an exhale out. Inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale, you're gonna bring your hands behind your back, interlacing your fingers. On your next inhale, draw your hands away from your seat, shoulder blades together, and exhale, back bend back. Take an inhale here with the gaze up overhead, and exhale out. Nice deep inhale in. And as you exhale, you're gonna hinge and fold, humbling your warrior. So your torso can be over your left leg, or maybe it comes to the inside of the left leg. Totally up to you, depending how deep into this bend you want to go. On your next inhale, you're gonna rise back up, opening to warrior two. Exhale, pyramid to the side of the mat again. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're gonna come to the left toes, bending deep into the left leg, Skandasana to the back of the mat. Right leg is long, right toes are drawing back towards your right shin. Nice deep inhales and exhales. You're welcome to bring the hands to heart center if you want. Make it more of a balance pose. On the next inhale, we're gonna bring the right sole back down to the floor. Legs go long, keep folded over, and we're coming into Prasarita. Wide-legged forward fold. Let the head hang heavy, maybe grab the outsides of the feet, bending in a little deeper. Maybe you walk the hands underneath the seat, whichever feels best for you. Wherever you are, just make sure the head hangs nice and heavy. Make sure your legs are nice and straight, but not locked out in the knees. And now let's bring our hands underneath our shoulders here, lengthening through the spine, straightening the arms. Then bring one hand at a time up to your hips. Inhaling to lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, we're gonna slowly rise back up, hinging at the hips. Turn your right toes back to the front of the mat, coming up to a warrior one as you bend into that right leg. Exhale, hinge and fold, framing your front foot. Step back to plank through your vinyasa, or come to downward facing dog. On the next inhale, the left foot goes up and back behind you. Scorpion the dog on the exhale, stacking the hips, bending the knee. Hold here for a breath round, taking a deep inhale in, and exhale out. On the next inhale, come back to your three-legged dog. Exhale through to your low lunge. Back foot at an angle, rise up to warrior one on your inhale. Exhaling to settle the hips. Take a nice deep inhale in here. Exhale, you're gonna hinge and fly. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, cactus and back bend. Shoulder blades together. Arms overhead on the inhale. Hinge and fly. Back up overhead on the inhale. Exhale, cactus in the arms. Back bend, gaze overhead. One more time through that. Inhale overhead. Exhale, hinge and fly. Arms up overhead. Cactus the arms, back bend. Inhale the arms up overhead and then open up to your warrior two on this side. So shoulders are square to the right side of the mat this time. Left arm is out long in front. Left knee is tracking over left ankle. Shoulders are tracking over your hips. Take a nice deep inhale in here and exhale out. And then the next inhale, we're going to turn our toes to the right side of the mat, bringing the arms up overhead, palms together. Right toes to the side of the mat as well. Pyramid pose. And then turn the right toes to the back of the mat. Left toes at an angle, warrior two to the back of the mat. Check in just to make sure your shoulders are over your hips. Gaze can be over that right arm. And then inhale, we're going to sweep both arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands behind your seat. Take an inhale to draw the hands away from the seat. Back bend back. Gaze goes up overhead. Exhaling here. Take a nice deep inhale. And then you're going to hinge and fold over your right leg this time. Maybe the torso's over the right leg. Maybe it comes on the inside of the right leg, whichever is more accessible to you. There's no right or wrong. Just let the head hang nice and heavy though. Inhale, we're gonna rise back up, bringing the arms up overhead. Turning open to your pyramid pose again. And then we're gonna skandasana to the back of the mat on this side. Left leg goes long, bending deep into the right knee. Coming up onto the right toes if you need to. Drawing those left toes back towards the shin. Maybe you bring your hands to heart center and make it a balance pose. Let's bring our hands back down towards the mat. Bend into your left knee. Walk your hands to frame your left foot. Step back to plank. Move through your vinyasa or come to down dog. On your next inhale, bend your knees, look to the front of the mat. And as you exhale, step or float to meet your hands in a forward fold. Half lift on the inhale, exhale, fold. Sweep the arms up overhead as you come up to your tippy toes. And then exhale to Siddhasana, arms by your side. All right. So let's go ahead and bring our hands to heart center here. Feet about hips width distance apart. Take an inhale in. And as you exhale, we're going to come to chair pose. Bring your gaze just to the top of the mat here. Center in here, grounding through the outsides of the feet. Take an inhale in. As you exhale, rotate to the right, pressing through the top hand, hooking the outside of the right knee with your left hand. Come back to center on your inhale. And as you exhale, go off to the other side. Come back to center. Then we're going to bring our knees down to the mat, the outside edge of the mat here. Come into our child's pose, resting for a few breath rounds. Go ahead and come back up to a tabletop position here. Inhale to broaden through the chest, drop the belly. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the knees, down dog. On the next inhale, bend the knees, look to the front of the mat. As you exhale, walk your feet or float to meet your hands. Half lift is on the inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, fold. Sweep the arms up overhead on your inhale, coming up to your tippy toes. And then exhale to Siddhasana, arms by your side. Let's take an inhale in here and exhale out. Inhale, we're gonna sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Half lift on the inhale. Frame the feet, step or float back to plank, moving through a vinyasa, or you can meet me in down dog. Right foot goes up and back behind you on the next inhale. Exhale through, low lunge. Back foot goes at an angle. Rise up to warrior one on your inhale. Exhaling to settle into the hips. We're coming to warrior three. So we're gonna kick off with our back foot, take an inhale in. And as you exhale, go ahead and kick off with your back foot, fly your arms, straighten your right leg. Lifting your back leg up as high as you can go. Really hold, 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 hold. And then look back behind you and slowly let your left foot down behind you. Open up to a warrior two. Take a nice deep inhale in and exhale out. Inhale, you're gonna reach forward as far as you can. And then exhale, we're gonna reverse our warrior. Right arm goes up overhead. Left hand goes down to the leg behind you. Cartwheel your arms on your next inhale. Framing your front foot, step back to plank. Move through your vinyasa, or you can always meet me in down dog. On the next inhale, left foot goes up and back behind you. Scorpion your dog, stacking the hips. Back up to three-legged dog on your inhale. Exhale through, low lunge. Back foot at an angle, rise up to warrior one. Exhale, settle those hips. We're coming to warrior three on this side now. So you're gonna kick off with your right toes. So take an inhale in, and as you exhale, kick off with those right toes, straightening the left leg. Fly your arms or keep them long in front of you, up to you. Really lifting your back leg up as high as you can. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Softly let that right foot land behind you, opening up to a warrior two. Nice work, everybody. Reach your arm forward on your inhale. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Arm goes up overhead. Right hand to right leg. Take an inhale in here. Exhale, cartwheel your arms, framing your front foot. Step back to plank. Knees to the outside edge of the mat. Untuck the toes. Child's pose. Just breathe and rest here for a couple breath rounds. Go ahead and come back up through to a tabletop, and then you're going to make your way all the way to your belly. Arms are going to be down at your side, forehead on the mat. We're going to come into Shalabhasana one more time here. So inhale, we're going to lift everything up. Head, arms, feet. Really lift, lift, lift here. Gaze is over the top of the mat, maybe in front of you, lifting the chin up. Hold for one more breath round. And then relax back down. Bend both knees in towards the glute, and we're going to come to our full bow pose here. So grab the tops of the feet on the outside of the edge of the feet. Forehead is still on the mat. Take an inhale in, drawing the shoulder blades together. And as you exhale, start to kick into your feet, lifting your knees off of the ground, bringing the gaze up, the chin up. Nice deep back bend here. Holding for 3, 2, 1, and release everything down. Pressing your hands underneath your shoulders up to a tabletop and to your down dog. Right foot goes up and back behind you. And we're coming to a half pigeon. So right knee behind right wrist, left ankle, right ankle behind left wrist. Take a moment to walk your left foot back if you want, and then hinge and fold over any amount that you feel comfortable with. Be here for a number of breath rounds. Now you're more than welcome to stay here. If you want to come into the king pigeon pose, go ahead and bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Bend your left knee in towards your glute. Grab the top of your left foot with your left hand and pull it in, bending the elbow. And you can stay here, or you can bring the right hand behind you as well, grabbing the top of the foot. And then really lifting up, chin goes up. Pull that left knee or left glute in, or left heel into the glute. Nice work. You guys are doing great. Holding, holding, holding for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Hands back under the shoulders. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Downward facing dog. Left leg goes up and back behind you this time. Exhale to half pigeon on the other side. Untuck the back toes, maybe walk the back foot back a little bit. And then hinge over. Any amount that feels comfortable for you. Come to your forearms like I am. Or maybe your forehead comes down to the mat. Up to you. Now you can stay there if you want. Or you can bring the hands under the shoulders here. Bending the right knee in towards the glute. Grabbing the top of the right foot with your right hand first. On the outside, and you can stay there with that left hand down. Or bring the left hand behind you. Grabbing the inside of the right foot. And pull in that knee or the heel into the glute here. Maybe the gaze goes up. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Downward facing dog. And then bring the knees down, sweep the feet around, making your way all the way to your back. Keep the knees bent, soles of the feet on the ground. We're going to come to some bridge pose here again. So bend the elbows right next to your ribs. And then we're going to use that full inhale again to go up the spine and down the spine on the exhale. So on your next inhale, lift your tailbone up. Lift the low back, the mid back, upper back, and come up onto the shoulders, pressing those hips up. And then exhale, roll down the spine. Trying to go one vertebrae at a time, and tailbone lands last. Lifting up one more time. Really press the seat up as high as you can go. And then roll back down the spine on your exhale. This time we're going to roll up and we're going to hold for a few breath rounds. So inhale, rise up, coming up onto the shoulders. And then maybe tuck the shoulder heads under you a little bit and bring the hands underneath the seat. Interlacing the fingers if you want. And then press through the hands and the arms and the shoulders to really press the hips up towards the sky as far as you can go. Just breathe well here. We'll hold for a few breath rounds. One last deep inhale here. Exhale, release the hands. Roll down the spine. Pull both knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice big hug here. You rock back and forth on the low back a little bit. I'm doing a lot of back bends today. Balance it out with a nice little massage on the low back in this seated supine forward fold position. Let the left leg go long, keeping the right knee into the chest. Then grab the outside of the right knee with the left hand and roll off onto your left hip. Bringing the right arm out perpendicular to your torso. Gaze can go up overhead or over your right arm, up to you. Let's go ahead and roll back to center here. Pulling both knees into the chest. Right leg goes long. Grab the outside of the left knee with the right hand, rolling off onto the right hip this time. Left arm goes long next to you. And gaze can be up towards the ceiling or it goes over the left arm. Come back up to center on your next inhale. Then take any final little movements that feel good for your body. If you want to do a plow, that's great. Happy baby. And then whenever you're ready, let the legs go out long, arms by your side. Coming into your final resting pose of Shavasana. Letting everything relax. jaw soften. Tongue all away from the roof of the mouth. Space around the eyes can relax. And just breathe. Start to bring some awareness back to your breath. Noticing the rise and the fall of your inhales and exhales. Bring some small movements back to the body as you wiggle your fingers and toes, rolling out the wrists and the ankles. And stretch your arms up overhead, reaching from your fingers to your toes. And then bend one knee at a time. When you're ready, and roll off onto your favorite side, making a pillow with your bottom arm. Once you've arrived here, take a nice deep inhale in through the nose. And through the mouth, let it all go. And whenever you're ready, press your way up to a comfortable seat. Once you arrive, just take a moment to notice how you feel. Notice any changes to the body or your breath, or even mentally. And then take a moment of appreciation for your time spent on the mat tonight. Bring our hands to heart center. Thank you all for showing up tonight, sharing your practice, sharing your light. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening and week. Namaste. Yay. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Mackenzie.
Bye.
Hope you feel better. See you, Matt. Thanks for coming, James.
Thank you, Jack.
Glad you survived the Rona.
Oh yeah, feeling pretty good actually.
Good. Hopefully you don't get like the long haul stuff of it. My sister got it over Christmas, and she was just saying she still got another fever tonight.
Oh shit. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah. Well,
hopefully that's not the case for you.
Don't scare me anymore. I already scared myself.
I heard when you get the vaccine, it helps with that. So
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yep.
See you next
Have a
time.
good night.
You too.
See you later. Bye. Oh, caramba.